Hello everyone, I'm going to show you how to use CorelDRAW as a parchment craft designer. When you first open CorelDRAW, you'll get this welcome screen. You can choose what you want to do, a new document, new from template, or you can open up a recent project if you've been working on one. We'll just click new document. You get this box here. You can call it something if you like. We'll just call it parchment. We'll have A4 and just click OK. If you want your A4 page as a landscape, if you come up just here to the top of the toolbar, that's portrait clicked at the moment, you could click landscape if you wanted it that way round. Talking about toolbars at the top here, if you right click, you'll find that these are all the toolbars that you can have. I like to have the zoom one clicked. If it's not ticked, click it and tick it. Also, if you unlock, that's locked, if you right click again, unlock your toolbars, you can move it around. So if your zoom bar has ended up down here, you can pick it up and move it to the top. Then we'll scroll along to the left hand side here. This is all your toolbox here. At the moment, the pick tool, this top arrow here, is selected, and it is the default one and the one you will need to use for selecting and moving everything around. So that's the most important one at the top there. You may find they're not all displaying, so if you come right down to the bottom left hand corner here, you'll see there's a plus sign. Click onto that and again tick everything. If it's not ticked, just tick everything, maybe apart from the bottom two. Don't need to worry too much about those. If they're not all visible when you want them, you'll find that just below the plus button there is a couple of little arrows. If you click those, you'll find there may be some missing ones in here that you've been looking for. They don't all fit on that left hand side. The other thing on your screen you'll notice is some rulers at the top and the left here. If they're not visible, go to view and again scroll down and tick rulers and also tick guidelines too. If you want to change the units of your ruler, if you go to layout, you can come to page setup, and you're just on your left hand side here, there's one for rulers. If you click that, you'll come across, and then units here are in millimeters. You can have inches if you want, miles for some reason or another, but millimeters for me is what I like, and just click OK. Another little useful feature, if you pull put your mouse over the ruler like that, and with your left mouse button pressed and held, you can drag down some lines. These are guidelines, and you can pull them in from both sides. They're quite handy if you want to make like a margin or a border or line something up. The other thing you can do with them, if you click them again, you'll get these little arrows here. You can twist and turn them any which way you like. If you know the angle that you might want, you can put it in up here. There's a little twisty sign there. You could maybe change that to say 45 if you know you want a 45-degree angle. So I'm just going to get rid of those. So I've got my pick tool selected. I'm going to click on it so it goes red, hit the delete button on the keyboard, and they just disappear. Okay. Now the other thing is useful on the page are on the right hand side here. We've got some dockers actually. Let's get rid of those for a minute. You've got here hints, and I've got object manager, and I've got align and distribute. I think by default you'll find that the hints is visible, so just by clicking on that, it's quite handy, because if you click anything say on the left hand side here, it will give you a little bit of a hint as to what to do with it, which is brilliant. If it's not visible, or we want some different ones to be displayed here, if you come up to the top here and you go to Windows, okay, come down, you'll find Dockers, and once you've opened Dockers you'll find them all here. There's Object Manager I've got, Align and Distribute, which I find quite useful, and Hints. I mean, there's other ones, there's Shaping, all sorts of object styles, things like that. But for the moment we'll stick nice and simple with hints and maybe align and distribute. If you want to get rid of it, if it's a bit too big over here for you, just click the arrows just there and they collapse in. I think that's just enough for your first look at CorelDRAW to see how it's all set up and to get you set up. So you've got all your tools visible, you've got some hints over here, and you've got the zoom bar up there, and we'll come back in a minute and start drawing.